Hello, can you hear me? Great. Thank you for staying so long. I think it's the last panel. I think, yeah. Great pleasure to see you here. Okay, my mic is ready. Long day, I do understand. Okay, so let me introduce the greatest speakers ever. First of all, there is Andres Kristiansen. He is like experienced blockchain developer, senior consultant, external consultant for IT development. Also, we have in here Lauren Haworth. She is CMO of EcoWatch, very interesting green energy blockchain company. She will tell a little bit more later. Also, we are having here YIPP. She is co-founder and running Unit Protocol. She will tell a little bit more. And also, we are having here Sophie Robson. She is green tech fashion entrepreneur and have a great project she's also going to tell us. So I would like you to introduce yourself a little bit and tell what are you doing in general. Leah, please start.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead out. I'm Anders Jensen. I'm a senior smart contract engineer. And I come from the enterprise software world. So I guess that gives me kind of a unique perspective on how to bridge the old tech with the new tech. And I do general consultancy on Web3 and advising corporations and startups on how to incorporate Web3 tech in their business purposes. One of my projects currently is a crypto to fiat gateway in Chile, where we try to achieve crypto mass adoption, which I'm excited about. So yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you, Andres, for the introduction. Let's continue with other speakers. Sophie, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sophie Robson. I started out as a fashion designer and launched a luxury brand called Safara about 10 years ago, a sustainable luxury brand. I'm now building the future of biofabrication on-demand manufacturing on the blockchain and working with scientists and fabrication specialists around the world for the future of the creator economy to combat climate change and also rapidly increase the right production on the planet that is currently where fashion itself is responsible for 10% of humanity's carbon. So that's my mission. I'm also consult with Fortune 500 companies, brands, agencies, including Crowd here in the Middle East on Web3 blockchain as their innovation head. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is YIPP. I'm a co-founder at Unit Network. Unit Network is a technology platform with the mission to solve extreme wealth inequity. And you think of the world, you here are probably one of the 5% of the people who actually know about blockchain and Web3 and the opportunities it brings. So congratulations, but we still have a long way to go. We're tackling a problem in which currently in the world, only a small share of people have access to almost all of the wealth. And we think that crypto tokens, blockchain technology can help capitalism evolve to the next level in which collaboration can be rewarded and people who contribute bringing value and sustainability to the earth can get their fair share of value extraction from that. And one way to do that, and today we can speak about it, is think about sustainability in a more complex way. Thinking about sustainability as a means to drive equitability in the world as a means to drive a world in which peace and prosperity are accessible to everyone. And technology such as blockchain technology can bring that, and I'm very excited to be in this panel and have a discussion on how we can create a more sustainable capitalism.
Thank you so much. And the last panelist, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. I did speak a little bit earlier this morning. My name is Lauren Haworth. I'm the Global Marketing Director of EcoWatch. You might have seen our stand right in the front there, the big green beacon. We are essentially a green investment hub that moves to accelerate climate action. And for the most part, we're focused on building sustainable energy solutions like renewable power stations. We also focus on reforestation projects. We're a carbon credit generator. And we're working with everyone from B2C, B2B, and B2G all across the board. I'm also on the board of a company that is designing NFTs that will facilitate the funding of education courses in different parts of the world, mainly in Africa. And it'll be interesting to see how we can chat through sustainability and using blockchain, and how blockchain is the most incredible tool that really creates access to all the elements that we need. So that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you so much for this introduction. And first, already thoughts are coming our discussion. So maybe I would like to start with something very general, and maybe you can explain a little bit, how do you see the impact of Web3 to sustainability in general? Because it seems that there is a kind of controversial. Some of people say, yeah, that there is an incredible tool, like Lauren said, to unlock some solutions that have never been accessible before. But there is also another side, kind of like consumption, that we are talking a lot, especially in terms of proof of work. And we need to understand what are both sides. So I would like to hear your opinion here. What is how do you see it?
Yeah, so maybe I can start with that one. So I feel the question is a bit loaded, of course, because you assume that there is an environmental impact. Now I know where this comes from, because there has been many articles and stories in the mainstream media, mainly about proof of work in Bitcoin and how it's completely killing the planet and so on. So, but I think it's one thing you can think about is why is it that you have all these articles about Bitcoin specifically, talking about using so and so much energy, and you never hear anything about tumble dryers, which consumes way more energy. Mm-hmm. And my opinion is that obviously it's because it's a way to gain control over the sector. So it's a talking point how you can enforce regulation into the sector, and that's why this is being driven, mm-hmm. so to speak. I also think that most of this talk about Bitcoin being unsustainable and very bad for the planet is actually misplaced. A lot of the, there was this Bitcoin transaction consumes like 300,000 times more energy than a Visa transaction or whatever it was. Of course, that's completely bogus comparison, because you're comparing apples and oranges. Yeah. If you want to do a fair comparison, you should compare the entire banking infrastructure that enables the Visa transaction to the Bitcoin network. That would be a much more fair comparison. And just to let you know, the banking sector consumes 5,000 terawatts of energy each year, which is many times more than Bitcoin. So.
Okay, thank you for this explanation. very technical perspective on the point. Sophie, maybe you can add something from your side.
Yeah, sure. I have, coming from a different perspective, I think the world of, I'm going to talk about fashion today. The world of fashion in Web3 is really, really, it's big. It's an area where with blockchain and Web3, we can truly make an enormous difference across the entire value chain. And one thing that has been notorious in the fashion industry forever is that the people that do all the work never get the profits. And also a lot of the creativity that goes into fashion is very fast-paced. So with the blockchain, we can, as a brand, as a designer, we can really explore ways of being able to monetize and pay our whole supply chain in perpetuity. And that brings an enormous value back to the ecosystem. That's one point. The second point is in terms of physical fashion, not many people are talking about Web3 and physical fashion. They're talking about the digital side and physical side, but the physical side is more important for the future of our economy than fashion in the metaverse. If we don't solve fashion, specifically the production that we're doing today, it's what's the point of the metaverse? What's the point of blockchain and Web3 if we can't solve the physical side of things? So that's where biofabrication comes in, and some of the world's leading brands, including Stella McCartney, Adidas, are working with these leading biofabrication manufacturers to create from the earth to give back to the earth, because nature has all of the ingredients that we need to become more and more sustainable. And through biofabrication technology and manufacturing, we can actually 10x the times of the sustainability prospects on the planet by increasing land size, protecting land size, paying back to world-leading scientists. And so that's the focus for me in Web3 is rapidly expediting the physical consumption side of things. But the great thing about biofab manufacturing is that it's completely sustainable, not just from the fabric itself, but the way that the land is used, from the people that actually work on the lands, and it's traced back to the entire supply chain. And so that's the effort that I believe in the next 10 to 15 years we need to focus on, cleaning up the oceans. The ocean is the number one ecosystem that can have the greatest impact on negative carbon. And then from there, hopefully stop all plastic manufacturing completely. So that, I mean, it's a simple thing to do. And the CEOs, whoever you are out there running these plastic water companies, stop producing with new plastic. Stop it. It's basic. Stop. You know, it's time now to make those big decisions. And we've got to recycle for probably about 10 to 15 years. And then from there, there'll be new materials and that we can use, completely eradicating plastic. So I could talk forever. I'm going to stop now.
Thank you so much. I am a big fan of metaverse fashion. I would like to not go into any shopping anymore, just do only shopping via clicking on my laptop. So hope we will go there. Like, we need to stop this pollution, like, because fashion industry is like huge polluter of the earth. Like back in the days, I have been like researching this topic, and I was impressed like how much like we are spending like money and polluting the earth just because of like want to have another outfit every day. So this is wrong. We need to change it. Okay, please, what is your, I know that you are doing so much in terms of sustainability, and I know that you are running also your initiative like Meditation to Earn, that is incredible. So like, but like, let me give you opportunity to talk about this yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. When I think about impact, I think about the impact on the lives of 7-8 billion of people that blockchain technology can bring. And the exact impact is that a lot of people who are currently not participating in the value extraction process, right? A lot of people are creating a lot of value for the economy. But the way the value is given back is currently not in a very equitable way. And this is not because we are evil people. It's because technology has not reached the scale of cost efficiency that it has. When we look at the most valuable companies in the world, 5 or 4 of them American tech companies, right? You would think of the large market caps, that's Tesla, that's Google, Alphabet, it's Meta, it's Amazon. This is at the plateau of what we call Web2, the second generation of the internet. The next generation of the internet is Web3. And that will be run or operated by decentralized organizations like Bitcoin that doesn't have a leader, or Ethereum that is run in a decentralized distributed world. And when we're thinking about technology that is permissionless, in which everyone can participate and get back a share of the value that they are bringing in, this is the world we're looking at by 2030. The top 10 of the most wealthy companies in the world will not be dominated anymore by American tech companies. It will be Web3 companies. Some of them might not be born yet, but some of them are just at the verge of arising. And the impact is that everyone can participate and become a stakeholder. So what Web3 actually does to the internet is, when communication became cost efficient and cost less, now we can send pictures to our friends everywhere in the world at almost zero cost, right? What will happen in the future is we can share our wealth, a share of a stake with everyone at almost zero costs. And we will be able to invest into all our friends and beloved ones' projects. So every idea that anyone has can have access to globalized funding. When this idea becomes a valuable project, the wealth can come back to all of those who participated. And this is the power of Web3. It can enable everyone to become an entrepreneur and a stakeholder in a project they care about, irrespective of where they come from. The only condition is that they have access to internet. And yeah, it will change the way we work, the way we share value, and the way we collaborate with each other.
Thank you so much. Really deep thought. Maybe you can add your thoughts also, Roller.
Sure. So blockchain has a really interesting feature as a tool. And by that, I mean it gives access to investment opportunities that don't exist anywhere else. For example, you've got some blockchains that are being developed that are already eco-friendly. They operate on a proof of authority, and I think some of the blockchain gurus here will correct me if I'm wrong, but that essentially works on a round robin so that only one node at a time is operating, so that's already more efficient than the rest. And then what you can do is build systems on top of this where what becomes really exciting, especially for investment opportunities, is when you can create customized SPVs, special purpose vehicles. So I'll give you an example. When we chat to investors and they want to buy carbon credits, they want to buy carbon credits based off of projects that are in country and relevant to them. So if I'm in Romania, I want to buy carbon credits, but I want to invest in projects that are taking place in Romania. So what we can essentially do utilizing blockchain is we can create these SPVs and make them country-based. So we could go to the companies and say, great, we've got a SPV for Romania, and in that we've got a number of different projects that are investing into reforestation, cook stoves, mangrove rejuvenation, you can name it. And then that gives very interesting customizable investment solutions. And not only just that, blockchains can also, some of them can give you access to fractionalized investment. And this is where I think it becomes really interesting for individuals. So, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this. As an individual, if you go and do some recycling at home, we're not always entirely sure whether our items that we are recycling are actually recycled at the end of the line. And then the question becomes, what are my individual efforts actually amounting to? Are they making any kind of difference? And the reality is we can start investing in tokens that are funding certain reforestation projects around the world as well. And that starts to give you an ability to pool your funding and to accelerate change. And that's what we need. It's not just that we need to make changes in the way that we're operating our businesses. We need to make the changes faster. We don't have that much more time. So now is the time to pool our efforts, work with companies that are already on the ground, NGOs that are already on the ground at different places. And blockchain just becomes a tool to use that can make that collaboration really fast and trackable, traceable. That becomes the magic of it.
Thank you so much. I see applause. It's really good. Yeah. Okay, lots of thoughts. But we are all in bear markets, and we're always thinking about additional funds and venture capital. And I'm curious, what is your opinion on can we really fundraise for sustainability projects right now? And if we can, is there a capital here? And how, what they need, to be sure, because it's long-term projects. There is no very short-term income coming from it. So my question is how to convince investors to be with you? What kind of things they are looking for? Maybe you have any ideas here. I think it's one of the things people are asking constantly, because there are so many great initiatives around, but how to help them to raise this money to implement this?
I mean, I've seen many projects, and yeah, you can just take a look at the floor right here at this conference. I think if you have a good case for sustainability, right now there has never been an easier time to raise funds. Mm-hmm. Every hedge fund, every investment fund is looking to have sustainability in their portfolio. Everybody wants it, and if you make a good case, yeah, it should be relatively easy. Also improving those ESG scores, so.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. We are, as Babs Lab, we are a marketing company, and we always say that, yeah, you should have women in your board. You should have sustainability project in your portfolio, because it's really important. But still, is it on paper, or it's really like this? Are people investing in it, in fact, or it's just for PR reasons?
I definitely believe that the really good investors are the ones that are investing in this space. There's a lot of investment going on behind the scenes. The number one thing is the team and the long-term vision, I think, is something really important to investors. And also it needs to be something that's tangible today. It can't be something that's far out in the future, that the payoff is going to be 5 years from now. I still think if you're looking to raise capital, you need a really strong team, a beautiful complementary team. You also need to be able to show the numbers. It's basic business. If a business is going to exist, it's got to make money. So a lot of these metaverse projects, they are in the metaverse. We've still got to keep here today. The mass market is not here in crypto yet. So if you do want to raise money, I would suggest making sure that your plan involves something that is for the masses right here at the moment, and that will get you across the line with investors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm on the builder's side, so we're building technology. And we can see that substance matters. And the coolest thing we're seeing in this very moment is that talent is really affordable. Like all the projects that didn't do so well managing their budgets and preparing for 2-3 years of maybe a crypto winter are now slowly needing to release their talent. And for us, for example, that is amazing because we can get access to people who can stay and build with the team and build the next level technology and be happy about it.
Okay. Thank you.
From my perspective, there's loads of investment opportunity at the moment. The pension funds love investing in sustainable solutions, mainly because you're talking about a 20-year time frame with relatively stable returns. So from that perspective, they love looking at that kind of thing. And then we've got loads of companies, especially the big polluters, the ones like the transportation companies, etc. Those are the guys that are polluting on a high level. And because you've got legislation that's taking place around the world that's making sure that these guys need to be as carbon neutral as quickly as possible, they are having to change a lot of their operational systems, which is incredibly time consuming and incredibly expensive. So while they're doing that, they also are landing up paying fines because they're taking too long. So the opportunity now is to say, while you're busy changing and turning the Titanic ship, go and buy carbon credits and offset the balance of what you owe, and then you don't pay any of the funds. That's actually cheaper to do it that way. So you find there are a lot of companies who are coming to buy carbon credits. And look, absolutely, there's greenwashing going on. There's people who are doing it for PR reasons, but it's a start. Even if you're going to go and pay money and do actual good things, even though it's PR, it's a start. And once we get mass adoption, that's great. But there's huge investment piling into this system. I mean, we're a green investment platform, and we're completely overwhelmed with requests for conversations about how to get involved, how do we buy carbon credits, all that kind of stuff, which is really exciting.
Okay, this is very interesting thoughts. I have a client of mine, they are doing restoring the ocean. They call Project Zero. I think we should connect to your platform. They are fundraising now. Okay, so I think we are over the time. Thank you so much for your opinion. Thank you for being there. Thank you for listening to us. I hope we will meet once again with this topic because it's important to talk about this. Thank you so much.